Selena. It's a bad baby. Oak Cliff girl. Can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl. Put them heels on and roll.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other. With the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
Hey y'all. Hey Mr. Skinny, how are you? Oh, let me get my badge offline. Hey Black Ubiquity. Thank you for coming through. All right. Thank you for coming through. Hey, I just wanted to know. I'm gonna put the link in the I'm gonna put the link in here, and I want somebody to tell me. I'm talking about something today that may run people the wrong way, but you know, I want to know from you guys' point of view. I really do. The title is why are black women, to me, it seems like black women are sometimes overlooked for marriage. Some black women, not all, but why is it such a high percentage? When I looked at the U.S. Bureau, it was talking about it's 31.2% of black women, right, that are unmarried, and they say that it's considerably higher than white women. So I want to know from you guys' point of view, why do you feel like black women sometimes are overlooked for marriage? Is it because we're not suitable? Do we have too many high expectations of what a man should be or how marriage should be? Is it because we're too independent? Is it because what is the reason? And I put the link in the chat. And hello to everybody that will come in. I'm about to drive. I'm getting off of work. So I wanted to know from your point of view. I see a lot of black women that I see both. I see a lot of black women, especially in my family. I have a lot of black women in my family that are married, and I have a lot of black women in my family that are single. So to me, it's pretty much balanced in my family. I come from grandparents that was married over 50 something years. So, and in my family, we believed in marriage. You know what I'm saying? We believed in marriage. So I just wanted to know from your standpoint. We put this up, and I hope nobody is gonna not be too scared to come up here and let me know what their opinion of it is. I know for me, I see a lot more other ethnic groups, if I can just be real, that seem to be married to black men. Okay. And it could be for various reasons. I believe the feminine movement, I'm gonna say Caucasian women started that movement. I can't think of the lady that started it, but it was started by the feminist movement was started by Caucasian females, and then it went down to the black females, and so some of the, I guess, the feminine movement has also went into the Me Too movement, where you got to be careful what you say, what you do to women, because you don't know if it's offensive. Hey, Uncle Charles, you don't know if people will get offended if you joke a certain way, or if you say, do say something in a flirtatious way. People try to take you, they try to put that Me Too movement. So I believe a lot of that was, you have a lot of women that have a feminist kind of mindset, right? Not all, but some. And maybe it scares some men away, especially from Black women. I've heard from some Black men that, hey, they're just not into marriage. They're not ready for that. I was talking to a homeboy yesterday. He was telling me, he was just like, I had the dream of being married, but that dream kind of went away over time. And he's in his 40s. So I'm like, wow, that's really sad that you have the mindset to want a family, right? You want a family, you want to do the right thing, and have a wife and not be going from woman to woman. Hey, TP, and hey, Kit, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It's a spiritual as well as the example was set before you in regards to how many people in your family were married. Right, right. So you're not gonna the way I was brought up, kitten. I might be saying your name wrong, but I agree with you on that. Um, you just see so many people that lose hope, especially some Black men that lose hope in wanting to marry a Black woman. That is such a touchy subject. Yes, it is, because like I said, now me personally, I believe you should marry whoever you love, the woman that you can see yourself the rest of your life with, that is a good mother. You can see her being a good mother, a good wife to you, very supportive, somebody that loves you unconditionally, somebody that puts up with you. You said I'm a Black woman and 40 in my 40s, married 11 years to a Black, okay, what's that? Did I read that? A Black man, I'm sorry, Black man in 40s, married 11 years to a Black woman. I'm married, stabilized life with my wife. Want to be married as well. Hey, CC, and forgive me, Keaton, I am driving, so if I'm a little off in my reading, forgive me for that. But yes, and really that is a great thing. But look how many Black men that don't have that same story, Black women that don't have that same story as you. It's a lot of Black women and Black men that don't have that story. Some of them have never seen that role modeled in their life. They have never seen marriage. Hey, Chase, they have never seen marriage, so they don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Me, I seen it, so I know it exists. Like I always told y'all, I always talk about my sister, one of my older sisters, my brother-in-laws, because it spoke volumes to me. That marriage, true love, unconditional love does exist. It's not that far from you. You just have to find the right person that understands that wants that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, just and this is this is an open panel. I don't want to be doing all the talking, but I just wanted to know about why do y'all think so many Black women are unmarried? Because I've seen so many Black men, especially in Texas. I've seen some Black women married to Black men, but I do see more in the state of Texas, I see a lot of interracial marriages. Okay, I see, and again, there is nothing wrong with that if that's your preference, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just curious on why it is. I asked some, like I said, some black men, why did they choose? And they were saying, well, at the time, this woman was supportive to me. She was there for me when I needed her. And I was in a place where I needed a good woman, right? Hey, Gary. So that woman just ended up being white, or that woman ended up being Hispanic, right? So love should not be about color, but let's just keep it real. At the same time, there's just certain things that maybe a Caucasian woman can do for you. I mean, can't do for you that I could, a black woman. Number one, we can relate to each other due to culture, okay? And there's certain times where I've heard a black man tell me, I love my wife, she's white, I love my wife, she's the best to me, but there is still a disconnection there, right? And I said, it could be because of your culture. Most black people, unless they have been brought up even with a silver spoon in their mouth, but even then, we know our culture just like they know theirs. And there's always sometimes going to be a disconnect because of that. And I don't care what anybody says, right? You said a lot of black female friends have trouble submitting to a man. It depends. And see, this is where submitting, this is where men want you to submit. You want me to submit to you, and you, my boyfriend. You're a boyfriend. You're not husband. But at the same time, submitting how? You got to be somebody that is somebody that I can respect. Number one, you should never. And some black women, they get with some men that they can't even respect. They always fussing at them. They always cussing them out because the man always doing something stupid. Well, they have lost some respect somewhere in there. So they don't want to submit to that person, but they still with a person. They still with the person, which is a toxic cycle, a toxic relationship, right? So, you got that going on, and then you got to find somebody. You got to actually have a man that knows how to be a leader. That you can submit to, because you're not just supposed to submit to everybody. That's why it's not good to date so many people, because if that's the case, you're gonna be submitting to everybody, and everybody's not for you. Everybody's not your husband. Everybody's not your wife. Even though we have many options, right? We have many options out there, but there's some that's better for a fit for you than another, right? So it is. Oh, you said, I'm trying to read this. Just E says, I think I'm gonna have to stop because y'all got some paragraphs, and I don't know why y'all won't come up on my platform. I put the link in the chat. Like I said, I want to hear what you got to say. Hey Zee, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Shoot, I'm interested. I want to know what it is. What y'all think it is. But TP said it's because some black women don't know how to submit. And I'm saying to him, submit to their husband, submit to their boyfriend. What are they submitting to? That's what I want to know. Okay. Hey, you said woman queen. You said some of these black men like other black men. That's why. Oh my God. So not only woman queen, they go into other races. They go into black men. they go into black men. Okay, that's another perspective. Hey Ricky, how are you? Thank you so much for earlier. Hey Debbie. So Woman Queen said they not just going to other races, honey. They're going to other black men. But you know, there is a percentage of black men that love some black women, okay, and they appreciate them. And you got some black women that show their man that they love them, that they the king, right? So I think it should go both ways. If we really want to be technical, you know, because you know people get a lot of stuff from the Bible. If we really want to get technical, the Bible says be submissive to one another. So that means both of y'all got to submit to each other. To be honest, that's what we going by, because they use submission a lot of the times. And you know, I know back in the day, submission was obey your master. But submitting, and you know, from how I interpret it, it is basically, to me, being able to yield your will to another person, because, or be, I would say, how can I say, you have to compromise. There's going to be things in marriage that you might not like, but because you love that person and that's something that they like, that's something that they enjoy, you compromise. That's what I understand. And then, you know, as we believe that, you know, for me, I was taught it was God, the man, and then the wife, and then the children. So I was taught that. And that we definitely have to make sure the man is the head of the household. You know, not to say that the woman is just weak and she got to say yes, yes, yes to everything the man do, because my grandmother was not like that at all. But she understood that my grandfather was still the man of the house, but they did make decisions together. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I put the link in the chat. Anybody would like to come up? Miss E, if you're not, hey, Young Riaz, if you're not busy, I would enjoy your perspective on it. I really would. A lot of people don't like touching these subjects because they are touchy. Hey, Ben, and people do get offended. Like I said, I'm for anybody that wants to marry whoever they want to marry, you know, white, black, Hispanic, you know, that's your choice. That's your personal preference. But at the same time, like, I do wonder, why is it that so many black women are begging, or not begging, but wanting, and some women are even going to desperation that they will do anything to be with a man. Hey, M. Mac, they'll do anything to be with a man, to have a man. They'll put up with almost anything. Now, to be honest with you, listen, there is so much noise in the background. Okay, let me pull up my window. Can you let me know if there's a lot of noise now? Yeah. To be honest with you, it's a lot of women that put up with anything just to have a man. It ain't just black women. I done seen, you know, heard of some white women putting up with some men, white, you know, other white men, because, you know, some men be. I was talking to this older lady. Well, she's an older teacher. She was telling me that some but white women, they'll put up with anything too, if it's the right price. They got a man taking care of them, and anyone, you know, most women now, you got a man to take care of you financially. They'll put up with anything, whether you're gay, or if you know you have a lot of extra marital affairs, or you know, even any abuse. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just really crazy. But you know, I just know, for me, that's not something I would want, just to say I'm married. You know, just to say I look married. But hey, it is what it is. um y'all can, like I said, you said a lot of cultures teach women to understand the bigger picture, which is building. Okay, so a lot. So you're meaning other races, other women, ethnic groups. They are taught that they have to build in a marriage. Is that what you said? You said, what did Max said? Disproportionately, black women give men wifey benefits as girlfriends, having babies, living together prior to marriage. Wow. That's really good, Mac. That was another thing that my grandmother told me. And even the women in my family, like my aunties and stuff like that, to not to just be laying up with a man, having they babies, and they ain't trying to marry you. That was one of the things that I learned growing up, right? And yeah, Mac, that makes a lot of sense. That was one of the things that I learned, and that's why it's not because I'm barren. I'm very look. I'm very hey, my eggs is good, but I have never wanted to be a single mom. I've never wanted to be a single mom because that's not how I was. That's not how I was raised. Now I don't bash anybody that is a single mom that is trying to make it and take care of their kids and do the best that they can. I say just don't make it a habit. You know what I'm saying? If you make a mistake one time, okay, that's cool. 2, 3 times, it's no more to me a mistake. It's something that you just feel like doing and you okay with it. So hey, to each his own, but that's not the way I was raised up. So I always felt like if I was going to get married, right, I was going to wait until I got married to have kids. And if I got married at a later age and I wasn't able to, then I just wasn't able to have them. Hey, Martin, just wasn't able to have them. But for some people, like I said, they don't have a problem with having kids and living with a man. I did have one older cousin said, well, really, Selena, you don't really know a man until you live with him, and then even when you live with him, you're still always finding out things about him. You know what I'm saying? So hell, sometimes you just don't know what to do. All I know is from my little perspective is that you got to find someone, whatever color they are, whatever you choose, that will love you and you love them back. Y'all both have to me, be on the same mindset that we have to build with each other. Nothing is going to come easy. We're going to have some good days. We're going to have some bad days, but we both have to be determined to work together. That's how I look at it in my little perspective. But what do I know? I have never been married. I just go by what my sisters told me, or what my aunties and, older women that, and, in my church and people that would tell me about marriage. Hey, Bevins. So that's just how I go with it. I mean, we can't always go on color. There's always going to be something, right? You got to go with somebody that wants what you want for the most part. And what I mean, and I'm going to say it again, somebody that wants to work with you. That's just the bottom line. And if the person can't work with you, the person is not for you, right? There gotta be, and that's what I think a little part of submitting, there gotta be a little bending, a little folding. Everything ain't gonna be what you want it to be. As the saying say, every day is not roses. It's not gonna be roses for you. Hey, CX, it's gonna be some tough days, but do you got somebody there, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, do you got somebody there that's actually want and want to be there for you. Okay, it's somebody in my back chat. Oh, great. I don't know how long you been back there. Hey, Miss E, what's popping? How long you been back there?
Hold on.
You're
I
on
haven't
mute.
been I know. I haven't been back there that long. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Miss E, I'm so glad that you came up. You can give me another perspective. You are a married woman. Tell me what you think of. Hey, CP3. I have to make you a mod on my laptop, but go ahead and give me your perspective.
I think it's just a lot of things. I mean, a lot of people are saying it in the chat. I think it's just it's a lot of things. I think like you said, the feminism movement I think has played a part in a lot of these modern young ladies who, they're educated now, they have money now.
Mhm.
It's not as desirable to be married.
Right.
They're making more, a lot of them unfortunately are making more money than men. So they find it hard to submit to someone who may not be making, as much as or even equal to what they're making, instead of
Mhm.
looking at the man as in his totality, not looking at what he makes, but who he is and his character. And him
Right.
being a man and wanting to, even though he doesn't make as much as you, doesn't mean that he still can't take care of you or provide for you. But a lot of women can't see past that.
Right. Right. Do you hear any noise, E?
I hear some yeah, I hear like, I don't know if you're driving or not, but I do
Yeah,
hear
I'm
something in the
driving.
background.
I'm driving. So I'm almost at my location. I'm about to go work out. So I'm almost at my location. So if you could just hold on. Hey, Sirius, if you could just hold on just a second, um, you won't hear the noise because I'll be at my location. But okay, so you believe that it was the feminine movement that really, like I said earlier, that really kind of broke a lot of homes. It kind of messed with a lot of women's minds to feel like, and to an extent, we did not always have equal rights as men. Like, right? So I think that sometimes movements they form these movements for good, but it ends up doing more damage than good. Thank you, Sirius. It,
Yeah.
it, it ends up doing more damage than good.
Yeah, I don't think this last wave of feminist movement was to do any good to any women, but I digress. We talked about this too, but the Section 8
Oh
and
yeah,
welfare and all that, that kicked men out of the household. You could
right,
get a welfare check, you can get, you can keep your kids, you can keep, they'll give you some money, but you can't be married and you can't have a man in the house. So a lot of women
right,
opted for that. And a lot of men allowed it.
right,
So let's be real. Not
right.
so a lot of men allow, well, I ain't gotta marry you, get the check. And they'll still come live there and only pay $20 a month because they only paying $20 a month for rent. So they allowed it to happen.
That's true. Why do you think that some black men do not want to marry? Have you ever talked to some black men that choose not to marry black women? Um, why did what were their, I would say, what were their statements, like why they would not marry black women?
I put it a little bit. I haven't had any conversations recently. So everything I'm talking about now, full disclaimer, this is stuff that we used to talk about when we were younger. I don't really talk about stuff like this in my circle anymore.
Uh-huh.
I try to stay away from these topics. I talk about this stuff on here, and it's based off of what I see in social media. So, but from back in the day, a lot of men would say black women are loud. Black women, they don't want to listen. Black women, they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to submit. Black women, all they
Mm-hmm.
want to do is spend your money. They don't want to, they just want to, they want to do them. They don't want to work towards anything. They just want to do
Right.
them. So it's easier for them to get with a non-black woman, white, Asian, Hispanic, because they were born in a culture where the men are still valued, where the men are still, the heads of the household, where the women still know how to submit. Now, don't get it wrong. There are some in every ethnic background. I've seen white, black, Hispanic, Asian that are very mouthy. But,
Uh,
you
yes.
know, I have some in my family. I have a very mixed family with regards to, black men that have married black women and black women who have married non-black men. So everybody got everybody has someone in their family that, is loud, obnoxious. It don't matter, but the majority of these uh non-black people, they know how to submit to their men. They know how to, even if they working, they gonna come home, cook, clean, take care of the kids. A lot of
Okay.
black men have a problem with black women that say, well, I work just like you work. How come you can't cook? Why I gotta always cook? You don't get that a lot from, other cultures. They will work, come home, do clean, laundry, and everything, cook.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
it's just one of those things. I'm not saying all, I'm just saying sometimes, because I do know black women that do that as well.
Okay. So, what is hey SBK, hey who else came in?
Hey,
Naomi,
SBK.
hey the mind hold on just a second. I'm like I said, I'm about a few seconds away from my location. I'll drop the link. And you might have to have to cam up because I think you're new. So I'm gonna need you to cam up and then you can cam back down so I'll know who you are. Because we don't want no nothing going on that shouldn't be over here. So I will put the link down in the chat in just a minute. And I would like a black man to come up here and give their opinion, whether they're married, whether they're single. I would like to get a black man's opinion as well on this issue. And I'm thankful that I'm here so it can stop being noisy. Forgive me, y'all. Hey, the mind. Thank you for coming through. Um, you know, because sometimes I think that, for some of us, yes, we can be a number. I mean, I know I'm a black woman. I deal with other black women, but not all of us are like that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Not all
yeah.
of us are loud or, hey, Darren, or whatever, y'all, some of the bad images
I
that
don't
some.
think it's race. I don't think it's race per se, Selena. I really feel it's a culture thing as well. Because a lot of black men, when they get to a certain status, well, guess what? They don't want to be hood. A lot of them aren't hood anymore. They don't want to be hood. And so they don't want those type of problems. When they elevate, they really elevate. They want to be beyond that.
uh,
So they don't want to have to, deal with the types of things, or the types of situations that they would, typically deal with. And I know that's being kind of, how can I say, it's being presumptuous that, all black women, if they were raised up in the hood, that they act like they hood. No, that's not the
yeah,
case. It's
because
not the case.
I'm from the hood, but I only really get like that when, you already know.
I know, I
But
know.
I'm really kind of low key. Like, it was somebody that I met was like, man, I wouldn't date no girl from Oak Cliff, but you don't act like you from Oak Cliff. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Like, he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, but you don't act like the women that I met from Oak Cliff, so you're a little different. I said, well, I know there's a time and a place for everything. At first, I was kind of offended, but I was like, well, it's a time and a place for everything. I know when to turn up and I know when to turn it down.
Right.
And some I guess some women can't do that, but I know for me, because I have a versatile kind of background where I went to an arts magnet school, I studied theater, and then so I was around a whole bunch of different kind of cultures. I learned different things, you know. And then my last year, I went to a school in the hood, you know, and
Right.
I didn't have no problem there. You know, I got along with people there, so it was kind of like I have more of a I said a wide or a broader view of people and how to deal with my surroundings and all types of people because of my background.
Right.
So and I think everybody needs to have that so that you can be a little bit more well-rounded, because everybody is not the same, despite of even like I said, even some people in the hood, that doesn't mean they act like it. They know how to handle themselves in different places. Like me, I can go to an art museum, I ain't talking loud, hey yo, hey, what's up, I ain't doing all that. I know I've done some studies where I know about different artists, you know, like so I can go into a museum and and look and see what a Van Gogh painting is and all this because I was exposed to that. Unfortunately, some people weren't, so you know they
Right.
have a different experience and a different way of being. But for the most part, you know, hey, it is what it is. I feel like everyone needs to be well versed. But yeah, I
I
was
agree
just
with you. I
mhm.
agree with you.
I just wanted to know your opinion on submission, what it was to you, and if it was close to my definition of submission. Because, like I said, to me, I think it is a lot of understanding roles, compromising. You know, because, like I said, to me, I don't go by just the man. You got to submit to the man. The Bible says submit to one another, but it
Mm-hmm.
also talks about the roles of a man being the leader of the household. Now, everybody don't go by the Bible. Everybody don't believe in it. So,
Mm-hmm.
but still, even if you're an atheist, is there any roles in your household, or are there no roles? Like,
Right.
I just want, that's the kind of conversations that I want to have, even for a person that's not religious. Like, how do they how do they see them as the man in the household? How do they see their wife? Like, are they equals? Is one higher than the other? Those are the kind
Right.
of conversations. You said, are comments being deleted? It may be from YouTube. I have already instructed my mods not to block or time out anyone unless I tell them to. So hopefully they are doing what I asked. So I have some pretty good mods in here. So you know, hopefully you guys, but sometimes YouTube, how do you pronounce this? Kenton, how do you pronounce this
It looks like
uh
Kenton Rourke
yeah, Kenton.
or
Kenton,
Keaton Rourke. Keaton Rourke.
sometimes YouTube will you put certain things in there and they will not allow that message, because I've been in people's chats and I have wrote a message, and when I was writing a message, YouTube wouldn't even let it go through. So I don't know, but it shouldn't. My mod should not be deleting any comments or anything. So just try to do it again or reword it. But yeah, yeah, so that's what I was trying to understand. And then and then I think, to be honest with you, hey Russell, I think for for some, you know, black men, I don't even think that they want to be married, you know, because it's a difference, like saying, well, I want to be married, but they don't want to do the work to be married. They don't want to do the work to actually find a suitable mate. They just want, sometimes I have experienced men that say they want a good woman, say they want marriage, but they don't want what comes with it. And that means you're going to have to sacrifice, you're going to have to compromise. It can't be all about you. When you communicate, you can't always be defensive. You have to have conversations with folks. And hey, Mr. Kimi, and some of these men don't even know how to do that. So it baffles me when some people say they want a relationship, but they don't want to do the work, or they don't want to actually get someone that they have to that challenges them.
Right.
When I feel like some men, black, especially black men, and it might not just be black, it may be all men or and women. If they feel like a woman or a man is challenging them, oh man, she want too much. She want too much. I ain't gonna be able to do that. Yeah, she ain't the one. They going going on this same old cycle, dating all of these women and
Mm-hmm.
still not finding the one, because the woman that probably could be okay and right for them is more challenging. She's challenging you, to change some ways about you, just like you should challenge her. Challenge should go both ways to me.
Right. I mean, you're not lying. I think it's a lot of people don't want to put in the work. A lot of people want the end result, but they don't want to put in the work to get to the end result, right?
Hmm.
It takes two people to
Right.
to bring things together. But it's so many different ideologies out there. You got your red pill, you got your blue pill, you got your purple pill, you got your pink pill. All these different ideologies, and people are subscribing to them, but nobody's really. It's not serving anyone. You're just in your own bubbles, talking about what you feel should happen, but nobody wants to come together to work to build something. And that's what I think. Too much information is out here. Too many people are talking about relationships and marriage, and none of them are married. None of them have really been in relationships, and a lot of people are listening to this. But when you talk to older folks or people who have been married or in long-term relationships, it don't take a lot of what y'all doing. It's just all about compromise. It's all about communication. It's all about working together. It's really that simple.
That's fact. Hey, E, how you
Okay.
doing? Hey,
Hey, I hope
Selena,
I'm.
do
Go
do me a
ahead.
do me a favor. Go into your settings and go and check and see if echo cancellation is on. Because every time your mic go off, you can hear the echo from us talking.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay,
Cut
so it's
cut
just
it off.
nah. If it's on, then it's just the mic. Are you talking through your phone or through the phone? I mean,
Yeah,
or
through
through
my
the car?
phone. My phone. Turn it down.
Or just when we talk, just go on mute. That'd be
Oh
all right.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, just go on mute like when other people talk.
Dang, that's crazy.
Okay, it's gone now.
Yeah, she jumped down. She probably just come back up and it'll be straight.
Okay.
How you doing, Miss E? I've been watching your channel. I've been meaning to rap to you one day. But you and SBK be doing your
I'm
thing, man. I
putting.
appreciate your content.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can't see your name. Who am I talking to?
Oh, that's the word.
Oh, hey, the word. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I've seen you around. I've seen you around.
And Slay, I just wanted to hop up too because you said you want another man's perspective, and I think mine might be unique because I am married, but
Hold
I'm
on, hold
not
on, hold
married
on, hold on,
to a.
hold on, 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 hold on. Who are you?
Bishop.
Hold on,
Bishop.
oh come on now, man.
Hey,
Not,
hey,
yeah, I'm
Bishop. Let the word talk. Okay, then you can go next. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
you know, I am married and I am married outside my race, but it wasn't even a black, I didn't marry my wife because she wasn't black. I married her because that was my compatible partner, somebody that complimented me. And my first marriage was a black woman, and it didn't work out. But I think black women have a stigma um, that actually I don't think is stereotype, right? The stereotype of a black woman, angry, mad, all this. I think all y'all women kind of crazy. I don't think it has nothing to do with race. It's just women, period. And just like men, black men get a bad rap, but then you see, I know white women married to white men who they deadbeats don't do nothing. I think that stereotype stigma is just placed on black people, and when the reality is, it's just people in general. Either you good or bad. That's just what it is. But he said something important too. She said culture, right? And I think people associate culture with race, and it's really not. It's about how you were upbringing, the upbringing. And I know in my culture, like the way we were raised, men were raised to be men for women, and the women was raised to be women for men. Meaning, we were raised to be husbands, and women was raised to be wives. And I don't see a lot of that in today's society no more. As people raised to be independent. And once you raised with an independent mindset, and like you was saying, women, they working now. A lot of women make more money. You know what? I appreciate you. I don't deal with people like that. But
Okay, Bishop.
I'm gonna holler at him.
Uh,
No, no, go ahead. But when he done or whatever, I ain't got time for it.
okay, Bishop. We all respect each other over here, and we talk one at a time. Okay, so don't be rude to people, and that I won't have people be rude to you. Let's just like I said, let's act like adults and do. Now, are you finished? The word.
He
Are you
dropped
finished?
down. He dropped
Oh, he
down.
dropped. Okay, Bishop. Now, what do you have to say?
Who is this? This Miss Selena I'm talking
Yes,
to?
this is me. Yes, this is
Hey,
me.
hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Just fine. How are
Good.
you?
Man, I'm doing well. God bless you, sweetie.
Okay, so what do you add to this? Because you seem like you in a rush. So
I'm not in
what
a
do you?
rush. I'm not in a rush. I came over to kick it with you for a couple seconds, give you some
Okay.
fresh content, help raise you an offering. I'm gonna charge Russell Red to drop 100 in the thing for you. He always dropping hundreds over there with the men. I want to see him drop 100 so we can see him turn your chat up right now. I want to see
Hey,
some
Tamika.
cash. Now, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm
Uh-huh.
serious. I'm the bishop.
All
If you
right,
over
Bishop.
doing your thing, you doing your thing, we doing our thing. I don't want to see Russell come play with you because I want to know, are you married? Is he married? Because I see him over there with Passer, the character dropping money. Okay, so I
Mhm.
want to see him, and he keep giving the money and keep going through YouTube. I want to see him put some of your cash out, and I want you to say, "Hey, Bishop," and tell everybody, Russell Red just put 100 in my cash out since he playing
Uh,
with you. I don't like the
well,
way he playing with
actually,
you.
Well,
Um,
actually, Bishop, we let me introduce you to me again. Okay, so this is Selena. Okay, and I do appreciate you on my platform. However, let's stick to the topic. Okay,
what is the
now
what's the
Russell
topic?
Red, yes, he did. He blessed me yesterday, so with $100. So thank you so much. I
Cash up or super.
appreciate.
Hold on, not to cut you off.
Uh-huh.
Cash up or super chat.
It was super chats.
That's some bullshit. So he blessed.
Okay.
Did you get? Hold on. Did you get it yet?
No, I
Why
didn't.
he
But
got to
that,
split money? Hold on. Why he got to
uh,
split money with YouTube and you? Why he can't put all that in your cash out or your Zelle
all right,
account?
Bishop. All right, Bishop. Or do you have anything to add to this topic? I'm.
I'm trying to do the thing right now. If you want me to leave, I'll leave. I'm just asking questions. What is
Uh-huh.
this YouTube Cash App thing? Okay, if you can do a super chat, why you can't do a Cash App? I'm just asking. Because it's all about the money. It's all about the monetization. So is the
Right.
monetization more important than the cash apps? What's more important? Or is they equally important?
All right. Well, let's say both of them are important, but again, Bishop. Okay. However, we are not talking about that. Okay. So I want you to either stay, if you can't add to this, once you come back when we talk about a random topics, then you can come up here and talk about cash apps and super chats. But for right now, we're
Okay,
talking
let me ask
about
one
this
more
subject.
question before I leave, and I'll respectfully respect that. Are you
Okay.
monetized? Is your channel monetized?
Yes, it is.
God
Mm-hmm.
bless you. God bless you, and I'll be back later.
All right, thank you, Ricardo. How can you add to this conversation? It's so good to see you.
What's,
Hey, Slim.
what's going on?
What's going on?
Going on?
How are you?
well. You doing well yourself? I know.
What do you see in this conversation? Like, why is it that some black women seem to be overlooked for marriage? Is it the men? Is it the women, or is it both? Like, what is it that is causing some black women not to be married?
Well, let me put it to you like this. I'm old enough probably to be most of you guys' father and some of your grandfathers. I have
Mm-hmm.
two daughters and two sons. My daughters are 46 and 44. Both are married.
Mm-hmm.
I was married. And my son, well, one 18 and one is 40. So, I give them time. But anyway, but check this. I don't know. Only thing I can say, in my time, back in the day, it was no thing, and plus, being in a Muslim relationship, I never had a problem, as far as the black woman was concerned, and I think it's a today issue. I don't know. It's so bizarre. I can't understand it. But my daughters had no problem. So I guess maybe because of the fact that they was groomed in a Muslim relationship. I'm not trying to take anything from other religions, but the fact of the matter, they watched their parents, and so I guess they wanted to mimic that. But I don't know. I don't know what this day generation is. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe who can outdo one the other, or whatever the case may be. It's confusing to me. It's just that I get baffled by it. But hey, so my grandchildren, they seem to be going on the right path, far as wanting a relationship when they get out of school or whatever the case may be. So everything seems to be going fine with them. Am I talking too fast? Let me know, Selena, because I can go on and on. But I don't know what today's generation is as far as overlooking black women. But I know in my day, no, that was always my first and only choice.
Do you think that some black men do not want to put in the work for women that can be a little bit more challenging? What I mean by that is not challenging as far as having a bad attitude, hard to get along with, nothing like that. I'm talking about black women that are a little bit different. They don't they think outside of the box. They know how to communicate. They are not, or they want to communicate. I've noticed when I have talked to some men, they get very defensive. Maybe if you come to them about a certain thing that maybe is offensive, or you don't like something, and they can take it the wrong way. I know I have a way of maybe overthinking some things. So sometimes, say for instance, if I'm having a conversation with a man and I tell a man, hey, let's talk about this. I really didn't like when you did A, B, and C. Is What was the reasoning for you doing it? Like, and I'm not coming to him like in accusing him for anything or anything like that. I'm coming to him just like I'm talking to you. And I've noticed that some men will they'll be in a defense on that kind of stuff. And then I know for me, I don't want to. I'm not easily a person that likes to get in a bed with a man. Like, for me, it's not something that I just do often. As far as like, you cute, I want to sleep with you. Some men, if you don't sleep with them on the first night that they take you out, or the second night, they ready to drop you.
Well,
you know.
It's a catch-22. Like I said, back in the day, I mean, I had my full bill of women, if you will, but it's I don't know. The communication is key. You have to be able to communicate, and I mean, you will know. I'm trying to explain it. Whereas, see, I guess I can be selfish when I was talking about far as I'm concerned, but you have to not be selfish, and guys, you can't be insecure. If a woman want to talk to you about something, I know you're supposed to lead, men, you're supposed to lead, but sometimes you have to let your woman talk, and to get things out. That's the only way you can grow. I mean, it's a catch-22, because you got a lot of women, Selena, out here that just want to be harder than men, and that's a turnoff. So it's not hard to try to communicate. I can understand if you want to communicate, but sometimes women can come at you a little too abruptly and a little too masculine. So it's always good to communicate, period. But at the same token, guys, you can't be insecure if you're taking the woman serious, if she approaching you with a problem or whatever the case may be, if she's trying to critique you. So you know when it's right and you know when it's wrong. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Selena?
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Ricardo. I really do, and that's something that I agree with you 100%. I believe that there's a way to do a right and a wrong way to do everything, and our tone plays a big part of it, as well as you have to understand, you have to know that this person doesn't mean any harm too. So I think sometimes when a person gets to know each other, sometimes they have mixed feelings about that and they don't know yet. But once, if they get to know you, they will know, hey, if a person is coming at them with malice or content, or somebody that's actually trying to have an understanding.
Absolutely.
So I
That's
think that that comes with a lot of emotional intelligence and being able to have a conversation, being able to communicate.
bingo. All right. Well, look here. I just wanted to add my 2 cents, but I love you, baby.
Hmm.
Oh, you keep
Thank
up.
you.
You know, we would be married if you wasn't a Cowboy fan, but nah, that's another story. Hey,
Look, my Cowboys, man, they so disappointing. But anyway, yeah, they are so disappointing. But yeah, shout out to Ricardo. I hadn't seen you in a minute.
yeah, yeah.
I thank God that you doing good. I'm glad to see you.
And you as well. Yeah, I'm always looking and listening, sugar. Trust me.
Okay.
Uh,
Look, I might have to give me an older man, honey. I might have to give you an older man. See, like some of you older men may know how to treat a young lady.
hey, that's how we raised, sugar. Hey, I'm old school, and if you don't,
Right. Look, I like when you say sugar. That is so cute. That is
yeah,
so cute.
you my sugar. All right, I'll take
All right, Ricardo. Thank you.
care.
Shout out to Ricardo for coming up. And yeah, I love that sugar. Hey, the word, thank you for coming back up.
Oh, no, it's cool. So, yeah, I was coming back up, but he even said it too. You know, a lot of it goes back to culture. You know, Islam is a way of life, so even the structure within it, it gives you um detail how to interact with, the opposite sex. So, um, like you said too, communication. And he said insecurity. I was also add maturity. You know, the lack of maturity a lot of times. If you can't effectively communicate, people get defensive off how you feel about something. That just shows their lack of maturity, lack of emotional intelligence. So, a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go in. So you have to almost look at it from an individual basis and determine what the issue is than just like a more blanket understanding, if that makes sense.
Hey, Lady D. Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, a lack of maturity and emotional intelligence plays a big role in how you're going to be able to get along with a person. Because, and now correct me if I'm wrong, the word, when people lack emotional intelligence, they cannot understand other people's feelings, as well as sometimes as their own. They can't articulate it, they can't sympathize or be empathetic to another person's emotional state. Is that kind of the definition to you of emotional intelligence?
Yeah, and unfortunately, 90% of the population probably lack emotional intelligence because it's not taught. It's something
Hmm.
that's developed over time, and depending on your experiences, it determine how you develop it. But understanding your own emotions first, emotional awareness, and you got emotional regulation, you got emotional expression is actually 5 steps, but just, the basics, right? So just those
Hmm.
three. And then that's within. Now you have the duality without. So not only being aware of your emotions, but the emotions of others. Are they regulating it and can they properly express it? But if you don't understand it for you, how you go understand it, from someone else's standpoint. So um, most things people like, even most conversations like we having now, people will hear what we say, and the common perception that they build is how they feel about what we say, not how they think. Like, is it rational what I'm saying? Or did I say
Hmm.
something that may trigger you? And because you lacked something I said, and now you feel some type of way about what I said, versus, okay, yeah, I do like that. I need to work on that. Um, so most people function on emotions and don't even understand or aware of why the emotions trigger, why the emotion, how to express the emotion. So yeah, lack of emotional intelligence is a huge thing. What keeps people separated, because social intelligence is built upon emotional intelligence. So yeah, that's all for it. So
Okay. Well, thank you. Miss E, you had anything you want to add? I don't know if Miss E is still there. She's on mute. Miss E? Okay, she might be on mute. Hey, Genesis, what you have to add to this conversation? Okay, y'all gotta get off of mute. You have to get off of mute, Genesis.
and this E just fell down.
Okay. Well, let's just keep going. I don't know what's going on with Miss Genesis mic, but hopefully she will be able to join us. But anyway, yeah, I really wanted to know, because I know that you are married to someone that is of what descent? Like, what, can you tell me what her, where she comes
She
from?
she Middle Eastern. She's a
She's Middle
Syrian.
East.
Yeah,
Okay, so
she's a
Syrian.
Syrian. Yeah, from
Okay.
Iraq.
Okay. So it has it been difficult? Has there been some disconnects that you've had because she's not African American? Like, do y'all have any type of disconnects with each other? Like, or is it's just a normal relationship? It's no disconnects there.
Nah, just the normal man. I mean, um, it's because I think when you have like a foundation of understanding, when you actually want to know, like I'm very observant, just naturally, I'm just naturally observant. So, just me being observant to her made her more observant to me. So, if I'm feeling a type of way, it's no combating with it. It's like, express your feelings, she understand it, and vice versa. So it's things that I'm not aware of her culture, how things are. But instead of judging, I'm trying to understand. And when that's reciprocated, it just flow, So it's no normal disconnect than I'll have with any average person. Yeah, I know people think because it's different races, different cultures, and sometimes that's true, but if you think about why, it's because the other person ain't really trying to understand the other person. When something happens, they just looking at it from their perception versus perspective. So
Okay. Thank you for adding. Miss E, before you drop down, I asked if you had anything you wanted to add before I went to Genesis.
Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened to it. It just, I was talking to you, but you couldn't hear me.
Mm-mm. So
Yeah,
what?
but what I
Mhm.
wanted to say was that the word is, I feel he's spot on with regards to what he was saying earlier about understanding like emotional intelligence and being understanding what people are saying to you. Because I think a lot of times people listen to respond and uh they don't listen to hear to understand what the person is saying, right? And so if you're only listening to respond, then you're going to get a lot of emotions. But a lot of folks right now in this world, I think everyone is they're not really understanding or gauging about relationships. They think that everybody has a position that they have to play, which is true, but I think you really need to, I think people are just making it a lot harder than what it needs to be. It's not, having a relationship with someone is really not, it's really simple. It's just being with someone that you care about, being a part of something, being able to, speak to someone and talk to someone and deal with someone and communicate with someone, it's not that hard. But I think with all these echo chambers, like I was saying, everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants their position. They're fighting for positions, and that's what's making it hard for folks to come together and even want to marry. And a lot of us that are married, and I can take responsibility for it as well. We don't talk a lot about the good marriages, right? You only hear when people talk about marriages, or when people speak to people about their marriages. A lot of men say, and I was just on Urban's podcast, I want to say last night before last, the young man was saying that every man that he talked to was speaking negative. They were married, but they were speaking negatively about being married. They don't talk about the good. And if you only talk about the bad, then what does that say to that single man that may want to get married, but all you're saying is negative about being married? So that turns that person off from being married. You have to you have to be able to we have to take the responsibility to, each one teach one, to teach, to show that, there are good marriages out there. It's not all bad. It's not a bad thing to want to be married.
Right, right, right. I'm trying to keep my phone off mute, so it doesn't disturb you guys. But like Commander said, that part. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Genesis go. I think a lot of people make relationships hard because people don't want to bend. I keep saying it. We all got to learn how to bend. And one thing that I learned about my grandparents' relationship, I knew very little about my mom and dad's relationship because she passed at an early age. But um, from looking at my sisters' relationships with their husbands and looking at my aunties and all of that, I see people having to bend a lot. Like both people. It's not just one person, it's both. And
Yes.
what I see in today's, oh gosh, hey, Grandpa One. Somebody needs to go on mute. So from what I see from today is people don't want to do that. They don't want to bend, they don't want to compromise. Like say for instance, it's a man I know, he's very, say for instance, my brother-in-law was very frugal. Okay, he was a conservative man. My sister, she's a spender like me. My brother-in-law had kind of had to show her how to have a balance, and she had to show him how to have a balance, to have fun sometimes, to splurge a little bit, to enjoy life, because you can't take money with you. But she also learned from my brother-in-law how to manage money, how to put needs before wants. You know what I'm saying? So they learn from each other. They build on that, and they bend for each other. And that's how they were able to be married before he passed for 31 years. See, and that's the stuff that I saw. So if I don't have a man, say for instance, if I'm willing to bend for him, but he's not willing to bend for me, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So anybody that you are going to be in a relationship with, or y'all just starting out friends, and you already know, okay, this person not gonna be in, it's all his way or it's all her way, that's not gonna work. You got to have two people on the same mindset as far as knowing what a relationship is going to take. It's going to take some push and pull. It's going to take some compromises, because everything is not going to be perfect, and it's not going to always be your way. Okay. Hey, Sickums, go ahead. Genesis, and then I'm gonna go to I think it was SBK that came up, and then I'm gonna go to Miss Akimi.
Hi, Selena. How are you? Hey, panel. Hey, chat. Hey, everybody. Listen, sorry about that before. There was something wrong with my mic. Anywho, I think it's very simple. It's either a person wants to be married or they don't. I think that there's so much that everybody's throwing into the argument of marriage. Again, it's very simple. I'm with a certain person. He's with me. We've been together for a few years. What are we doing? Are we in it for the long haul, or are we just in it just to have some fun? At the end of the day, as individuals, you have to have that conversation. You're dating, and at what point someone has to say, okay, what are we doing here? Are we going for the long haul, or are we just going to be in a wait and see situation? And again, everybody comes into a relationship with baggage, but before you enter into something long term, I think it's important for you to clean your own house, work on your issues, go to therapy, drink water, exercise, eat fruit and vegetables. I don't know. But coming into a situation with your own excess baggage, and that person's coming in with their own excess baggage, and you're sitting there in a living room full of crap, a living room full of garbage, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to go around the issue of what you're really dealing with here. Again, make up your mind. You want to be married or you don't want to be married. It's that simple, in my opinion.
Amen, sister. Hey, amen to you. You're very correct. Mr. Kimi, you want to add something to it?
I think the gentleman came before me. I'm willing to wait. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Mr. Kim.
Oh,
You go
okay.
ahead.
Greetings. Salute, Selena. Salute to the panel. Salute to the chat.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. So I just wanted to chime in. Everybody's got such great perspectives, and at the end of the day, this is a multi-dimensional topic, right? And so your title, if I'm not mistaken, said, "Why does it seem that Black women seem to be married last?" And what I have in mind on the topic, or that I want to contribute, is that first, unfortunately, the first word that comes to my mind is disconnect. They're collectively, so when I speak on a collective level, that there has to be a willingness to yield on both sides. But the word disconnect comes to mind because there has been a successful endeavor to separate and dismantle the Black family, and there has been a level of success, but you can't change what you don't acknowledge. As Miss Genesis stated, you have to work on yourself. You have to if you're the only person you have any control or dominion over, you're the only person where you can make a decision and yield a certain result. You are incapable of doing that for anybody else. Once you get yourself straight, then God will bring you the person and bring you into their life in order. And I believe that, but you can't. Whatever energy you give out is what is going to be reciprocated, willingly or unwillingly. So I just want to promote love. I want to promote people giving other people grace. I want to promote and propel people to think that this is not just all about us. We have to heal ourselves, and only then can we begin to heal as a community and go back to our ancestors and our forefathers, where family ruled, family is first, and family is rock solid. And I appreciate you letting me speak.
Right, Mr. Kimmy. I don't know. Somebody has me with the echo, but what I will say is I agree wholeheartedly with you. I believe it starts with us getting ourselves together, our getting, becoming more mature. Like I told you, it's some things about me that I was working on, like overthinking the hell out of things, when that can sometimes be a I would say a blockage for me, or a what would be the word for that? A barrier. It could be a barrier. Certain things that we have in our lives can be barriers from us being and meeting the right person too. And when I started to realize that, I started to look at the things in me that I needed to work on, like overthinking, like being too quick to judge a person. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to deal with that person, block. Now sometimes it's needed. Sometimes you need to block folks. But some people, you got to give people, like Mr. Kimi said, you got to give people grace, because we all need it. Some people, like I said, some people you can give them grace, and some people you just call it for what it is. I think that we just have to recognize some of the things that's in us that we have to work on, and then we can draw better people to us. Hey, Simp ain't easy. And you're right, CP3, discernment. What about you, SBK? You're a single man. What do you feel about this subject? Do you feel like black women are overlooked for marriage? Or is it something that some black women are doing, or is it like what do you think on this topic?
Well, I think on the same lines as the brother that was just on the panel, the old school brother that you had up. He said he was older and he had older children and they're married. It's just this. I feel like it's the time of age. Or what am I trying to say? It's this. It's this age that we live in. Um, because you have everyone trying to get their careers underway. Um, a lot of strong women out there trying to get their careers, make the money, and do what they need to do. Then you have the man doing the same thing. But back in the day, it was just the man just kind of like being the breadwinner. So I think a lot of men are intimidated by that. They might not admit it, but a lot of men are not are intimidated by that structure right there. So, but I feel like it's this day and age that has a lot to do with the original question that you're talking about black women being the last to be married. Um, I really do feel that that's the case.
Wow. So you see it for yourself. That's amazing. Do you believe that some of the black men are good candidates for being a husband? Because from what I see, sometimes you can, go out with men and they seem okay, but to me, they they don't really, to me, want to work for what they're asking for. Because I think with having a husband or having a wife, it comes great responsibility. It's not because you're basically responsible for somebody. A wife is responsible for her husband and vice versa. That's what I think. Uh, I just don't know if some people don't understand the cost of the responsibility of saying I want to be married. Do you think that it's some of it?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with that. It's just like what sis is just he was talking about. I think in this day and age, when you have two couples together, the man and the woman are constantly jockeying for position. It's one of those things where um, either one, neither one are willing to bend. You know what I mean? Um, and that has a lot to do with pride. You know what I'm saying? So that has a lot to do with it as well. So you know, just like Mr. Kimmy and everybody on the panel just about said, you have to work on yourself first before you are willing to be married and to jump into that commitment like that. So when you're working on yourself, you got to keep that in mind. Pride comes before destruction. Um, when you're in a relationship, folks tend to forget you're in that. You two are in it for the long haul. Not only for the long haul, but y'all are supposed to be enduring things and going through things together. You know what I mean? You guys are together. So that's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? So, but I have not, but to answer your question, Selena, there are men out there. And here's another thing. I don't know, man. A lot of people might not agree with this, but there are a lot of good men out there. A lot of good men out there that are working hard, trying to, they're not perfect, but they're working hard, they're taking care of their business and so forth and so on. But what I see is a lot of lip service, a lot of lip wrestling, as we call here in the South, a lot of lip service. And a lot of people say they want good men and they want good women, but don't do the necessary things to move forward and to commit to that relationship. You say you want a good man, but you tend to hang around and talk to men that are lesser than men, if I should say. I'm trying to be nice, but that's what I see. You know what I mean? Um, A lot of men say they want good women, but they could be dead wrong on some things, and they are not willing to be humble enough to see that they're wrong and let that woman help them instead of them thinking that the woman is a hindrance to them. So it goes both ways. That's the way I look
I,
at it.
I agree. I believe, and I like what CP three was saying. How a lot of women are influenced by a lot of reality TV, as well as I think some men on. They look at other athletes and celebrities on how a man should be and what a man should have. But back in the day, like I said, men and women would help. They want to help each other. You know what I'm saying? They want to help each other to build with each other. So I believe a lot of TV, watching, these images on, and on the screen and seeing what we think is a relationship. Like, those, when they used to talk about the relationship goals, like this person is relationship goal. Like back in the, I would say in the 2000s, early 2000s, Will Smith and Jada Pickett was the relationship goal until we found out they jacked up just like anybody else and more. So we as people have to stop looking at these images and these celebrities and reality stars for what we think a relationship should be. And it's really sad that for some of us we've never seen it. At least I saw it with my grandparents, and I saw it with my people in my family, so I know. But some people never have that role model in front of them on what a relationship is supposed to be. Let's see who came up. Was it Angelo that came up, or did he drop down? But I appreciate Mr. Kimi. Look, Mr. Kimi, put your link in the chat if people would like to sub up to you that have not already subbed up to you. Please put your link in the chat. And I say put beautiful one. Whoever is a content creator, if you are a mod in my chat, put your channel in my chat, or ask someone that's a mod to put your link in my chat if you are a content creator. So but yeah, so I hope that you understand what I'm saying on that point too. I think a lot of the times, and I'm just going, and I say this, and I probably shouldn't, but my aunt, Aunt Till will say, people are full of shit. They want something that they're not willing to give. You want all of me. You want my body. You want me to cook for you. You want me to do all this. What are you willing to give? You know what I'm saying? And what I don't like about some men, they want a lot from you, but they want to give you very little. So I'm not like some people. I do believe that there are good men. I just believe that they're few and far in between, just like with good women. I think a lot of the times I understand why some black men have struggles with dating because of the dating choices that we have out here. And the same with black women. It's just not much to really pick from sometimes. So that's how I see it. But I ain't trying to offend nobody. I'm just telling it like I see it. Anybody else would like to add to that?
I was going to add something, but there's a new person up here. Sorry, I can't see the name. It's the person's right under you, Selena.
Dog, big dog.
Oh,
Can
big
y'all hear
dog.
me?
Yes, big dog. Yep.
What's up,
No, I'm
Angelo?
Angelo. I'm messing with you.
Oh, I'm
What up,
sorry,
big
Angelo.
dog? What's going on,
What's,
killer?
what's going on, big bro?
Ain't nothing, man. Just trying to make it, keep my head above water, big dog.
There you go. There you go.
What,
Same here.
what we? Nah, I know that's right. What we talking about? Marriage and shit?
We trying to get on your level.
No, no. Look, dude. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't look at people's. I hear people say it's a job. No, it's not a job, man. You love one another. You cherish one another. You protect her. I don't know, man. I see it different because I saw different in my father. My mother, yeah, he cussed her out. They laughed, they cried, he cussed her out when she got on his nerve, vice versa. But at the end of the day, ain't nothing that man wouldn't do for that woman. I was raised in a house that I saw love, and I saw, you know, kids was in their place, and I saw two people love each other through life to my daddy passed. And now she still every time I talk to her, she said, I sure miss your daddy. And she tell me, you remind me of your daddy so much. And I love my wife to the fullest. People call me simp, this and that, you know. But it is what it is, man. I was raised that way. Love a black woman. Man, I ain't gonna even say black woman. Love a woman. You do what you gotta do. And a good woman like mine, she's great in her career. She's not gonna let me sit there and just tote the weight. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask her to because I'm gonna pay it. But she's not gonna sit there and let me tote the weight. You know. And I thank God for that, and I thank God for her. I thank God for our relationship. It ain't all rainbows and fucking everything is good every day. No, we have our arguments, but at the end of the day, we can come back to each other and sit down and talk about it and make it right. And 16 years, and salute. That's all I got to say, man. I appreciate y'all.
Well, shout out to
Shout out
Angelo
to
and his
Angelo.
marriage. Yeah, congratulations for that. Like Naomi said, relationships are hard, and I know marriage is probably even harder. Because marriage is, I think sometimes people they haven't seen the example, so it's really kind of difficult for somebody to even understand all it takes, and you really, until you're in a marriage, I don't think you'll actually know everything, because like I said, I'm just going by my examples. I'm going by people that I've talked to and people that that are in my life, but I really won't know what it is until I'm in it. So I say shout out to anybody that has had a relationship or a marriage longer than a year, because it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of bending. It takes a lot of compromising and sometimes sacrificing some of the things you want, or sacrifice some of the things you need. So shout out to you for that, Angelo, and anybody that has been married for a long extended time. Lou, you wanted to come up. This is your very first time you've ever been on my platform. So you're welcome. Thank you for coming. And, like I said, I try to welcome everybody. What do you have to add to this, to the subject?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to say, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
I've been married 15. So I do have a little bit of insight on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to marriage is really not hard, especially if you communicate. If you have the communication skills, marriage is easy. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
it's just hard when other people are involved.
Okay, is that you talking about when other people invite other people in it, or letting people know your business? Is
I
that
mean,
what are you saying?
it's both ways because
Okay,
when if you have a marriage and you have communication with the person that you choose, well, the person that you choose to be married with, if you and that person have an understanding or comprehension of what's going on, it's no need for nobody else. But when other people get involved, that's when the problem comes.
okay, got you. Um, Now I've heard my grandmother. Hey, Ryan. Um, I heard my grandmother say, "Keep people out your business."
Yes,
So,
ma'am. Yes,
I know for
definitely.
me, and then my sister also let me know that too. She was like, whatever is with you and your mate, keep it between you and your mate. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with you on that part. I also agree with communication, because we have to communicate with our mate. Now, some marriages are open marriages. You know, that's not for me. It may be for other people, but you both got have to be on the same page, even for that as well. If it's going to be
Exactly.
an open marriage, if it's going to be an open marriage, what, how open is it going to be? Those are the things that you're going to have to talk about. You can't be shy when it comes to being open and honest with your mate. I don't think, to make it work. Y'all have to be on the same accord.
And that's where communication comes in, because if you have a mate, that's if you communicate with your mate and say, this is what I want, this is what I want, and if your mate says, I can't do this, and if you both can agree that it, okay, I can't do this, but we have a solid foundation, let's keep our foundation, but it's some things that I can't offer you, then that means that it's something that has to be filled in. You have to have the open communication to understand that some things can be offered and some things can't be offered. So if you have the right person that understands, like, yo, I can't do this, so maybe somebody else might have need to come in and fill in that space.
Okay.
So
Okay. That's your perspective. I mean, everybody thinks differently on that. Like I said, it just depends on what type of marriage you have, um, and what type of partner you have too. Like you said before, the best thing, you gotta have somebody that you can communicate with. If you can't communicate with that person, it's not gonna work anyway. Y'all gonna be on two different playing fields, two different wavelengths. So I would agree with that on
yeah,
that part, and definitely keep your business between you and your mate.
exactly. But the thing is communication and comprehension is the main part of the relationship, because relationships are easy. A lot of people say that relationships are difficult. No, they're easy when everything is out in the open and on the
Okay.
table. It's
Okay, I
easy.
got you.
It's easier because you could say, this is what it is, this is how it is, this is how I'm gonna move, this is what I'm gonna do. And that's on both
Mm.
sides. It's not just on one side, it's on both sides. So if you and your partner can come to the table and say, this is what I got to offer, this is what I'm not, this is what I am, and this is what I'm not, it's easy, because
Okay.
loving somebody is easy, hating them is the hard part. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You know what I'm saying? I've been in this for 15 years. I'm the first mistress child. So I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it.
Mm.
This is something that I lived. This is something that I experienced in life. So I can speak on it because I experienced it.
So you basically were a child that came from um an affair, correct? Is that
Yes,
what you're
ma'am.
saying?
The first mistress child.
Oh,
I said it clearly, so you know what I'm talking about.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the first mistress child, but my dad loved his wife. It was just something circumstantial that happened, and then it was me, and then it
So
was
you
others behind me.
basically since you came from that type of background, um did that definitely shaped how you seen relationships and marriage.
Yes, ma'am.
So would you ever be in a monogamous relationship or not?
As long as it was cooperative to what the end goal was.
What would that end goal be for you? I'm just curious.
You know it. You know, a lot of people say that the woman is the prize, the man is the prize. It's not about the prize. It's about the prize is what y'all put together to make the outcome. And
Okay.
a lot of people don't. A lot of people have I'm the prize and I'm the prize, and it's not no unity. Instead of comprehending what both of y'all need together to make the prize, because the prize is both of us being together.
Okay. And I just want, if for those people that don't know, Lou, you and your wife are in an open relationship, correct? Y'all in an open marriage, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that open relation, so she's able to be with other men and you're able to be with other women.
There's no other man that could fill my spot, but she's willing. She can be if she wants to.
Wow. And that was because of, your upbringing of what you saw in your household. And now, did you have a relationship? Hey, Bevins, did you have a relationship with your father, a good relationship with him?
Me, I was the only child. I was the first mistress child, but I was the child that was able to see my father and his true self. So I saw
Mhm.
everything. My brothers and sisters didn't, but I was able to.
Okay, okay. So what happened with the relationship with your father and your mother, because she was the mistress? How did that work out for her?
I mean, my mom chose a man that was married, so she had to be a part of whatever he had going on because he was already married.
That's
She
deep.
accept, she accepted what he was going through, or the things that she accepted what he had going on.
Okay. Now, to some people, this is foreign. This is not foreign to me. I don't tell a lot of people about my personal business, but I will go ahead and say this because I can kind of understand what Lou is saying. Now, I want y'all to follow me and see if y'all understand this. Okay. One of my great grandfathers, okay, and my great grandmother, um and my other great grandmother had a situation. Okay, so my grandfather's father and mother were still married, but my grandmother's mother and her father had passed. My grandmother's father had passed. My grandfather got married. uh my grandfather decided to step out on and this is on my grandfather's side, step out on his wife, which was one of my great grandmothers, and slept with my other great grandmother. Okay, they ended up having, I believe, 4 children. He already had 8 with my grandfather's mother, and he had 4 with my other grandmother, which was my great grandmother. Okay, so it was my grandmother's mother that he had 4 with. So it is some people in my family I'm double kin to, because my great grandfather decided to have children with my other great grandmother. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
No,
She
it's not weird. It's
But
normal
yeah, well, back
because
in the day, it was.
that's what it was. That's what
I
it
think
was. Don't
so.
deny that.
Well,
Don't do
let me
that.
say this. So, like I said, my other great grandfather he had already passed. She was still young enough to have children. Okay, so
Hmm.
at the time that they were in, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying from what, just at the time, uh, they, they depended on a man a lot of the times to go out there, work, had them, bring them some money and then all that kind of stuff. So that was the situation that they was in. So it was a lot. more of that going on that people did not talk about back in the day. And that's just the real truth. Not everybody's family was like that, but I'm just telling you a little part of mine that it happened. And it happened a lot more. And when I hear a lot more stories down in the South, like down, where some of my people from, a lot of that was happening. You had some people, their husbands died early, so they get with the neighbor's husband and have
or
kids
or
with them.
or the brother.
Right. So it does happen.
Okay.
I don't want look, it's not for me, but like I said, it happens. So it's something that, especially with your mother, I don't know how old she is, your mother and father, but whatever generation they was in, you know, it was a little bit common. And so, and it's like, so now to me, some people like, how could you do this? But people don't realize a lot of that stuff was going on back in the day. Just to be honest with you, and both of my great grandmothers got along just fine, which was odd
Hmm.
to me, very odd, but they got
Why?
along. And to me, it was because I'm like,
Okay.
how could
So,
you see
hey,
what my
Selena.
man?
Hey, Selena. Can I ask you one question, please?
Mhm.
Why was it weird to you?
Because to me, I've always been known to it should be one woman and one husband. And if you want to, if you don't want to be married, you can date whoever you want to date. Be whatever woman you want to be with. It's a free, you free. But when you marry, from my understanding, the Constitution was, of marriage between one woman, one husband, and one wife. That's what my belief system was. So I was kind of my face was kind of broke when I had one of my older aunts told me the history because I didn't understand how I was double kin to some people. I said that doesn't make sense, and I asked her this. I was very inquisitive even as a child, and she explained it to me, and I was like, wait a minute, what? But I was taught this way, but you mean to tell me great grandmama and great grandfather was doing this back in the day?
Hey,
So
hey,
it really kind of messed me up a little bit.
hey, Selena. I'm gonna tell you something that the 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 rules that were created is what make it weird, but that's the nature of who we are.
And that's probably the nature maybe of who men are, because they find it hard to be sometimes monogamous, but I made some women too in this day and time. But I think
Uh,
we're like, yeah, what was it yesterday? We were talking and we was talking about how me and Lonnie was talking about how we all people are sexual beings. That's what we are. We come into the world like they're curious about sex. So I just, man, I don't know, it was weird to me. Like I said, hey EJ, it was weird to me, but like I said, once my older aunt explained to me what the hell was going on, then I was like, dang, that's crazy, because my grandmama and them, they taught me this way, and they had a whole Young and the Restless back in the day, but like I said, it
Same
was
here.
more common.
No, but
Hmm.
it's the same thing. It's just like this. Like we have to accept that the elders move the way they move, and it's still continuous this day
You're
to,
right.
to the same day. So we have to accept that it's what it is, and we can't judge people for when I when my dad died. I met a lot of my family members that was across the railroad tracks. Like
Hmm.
I realized I had six or seven more sisters beneath me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they popped up, and it was like, damn, like, and some of my sisters and brothers hated them, but they was my brother and sister, so I couldn't deny them that they was my brothers and sister, regardless to what decisions my mother or father or it didn't matter what they did.
Right.
They
Well,
was
yeah.
they was my family. So I had to accept them or deny them. And I wasn't gonna deny them. because that's who they were.
Hmm.
And a
Yeah,
lot of people allow their emotions to deny the people that's supposed to be family, and
that's
that's what
true.
the problem is. They
That's true.
deny they deny it, like, oh, you my dad other kid, like, oh, I hate you because my dad cheated on my mom. But yo, it happened.
Yeah, it is. It's something, when you find out family history, and I had a lot of historians in my family, so when some of the stories that I heard, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So it's true when the Bible says nothing new up under the sun. Everything is just being recycled over and over again. So not to really be surprised by anything. But anybody else? Thank you, Lou, for giving me that insight. Anybody else that would like to say anything? Because I got to get in this gym. I've been talking a little bit more than I planned on it, but this was a really good live. I really enjoyed it. So,
No,
do I have
man.
any? Hmm.
I apologize, sister. I just came up because I know I have a bad reputation, but I do have some insight on life because
Yeah,
I
I
lived it.
that because it made me come out with my story because I was just like, yeah, it's a little bit more common than we think.
Yeah.
uh, it really is. But I appreciate you for that. Hey, Mir, um, but do you have anything to add to what Lou was saying, SBK or Genesis or
No,
Miss E?
no, I was just gonna say thank you for having me up. I gotta get going. Um, thank you, Selena. It's always a
All
pleasure.
right,
We're gonna have to uh, we're gonna have to talk about this again, make it a part two or something because this is very
right.
interesting. So, Miss Genesis, Sis, Lou, salute to y'all. Y'all know what time it is. I will talk to y'all later. I gotta bounce.
Thank you. Hey, Disloyal. Hey, Captain Wolf, L Boogie. So, any last things, Miss Genesis, before I get off?
To be honest with you, I totally forgot what I was going to say. Um, but
Okay.
listen, as always, Selena, you have great discussions. You have great panels. Thank you so much for letting me have
Oh,
a read.
wow. Thank you.
Yeah, you do. You've been hitting it out of the park lately. I've been in the bushes watching. I don't usually come up. I don't usually comment, but yeah, you're doing a great job. And a lot of these discussions need to be had. And yeah, just fantastic. So I don't really have anything to add to what Mr. Liu was saying. However, have a good night, everyone. Again, thank you so much for having me up. And I see my honey in the chat. So hey, Mr. Russell Red,
Oh,
how you been?
all right. You better stop speaking to my baby daddy.
Uh,
We look, we're in an open relationship. Hey,
oh,
Disloyal, how are
congratulations.
you?
Hey,
Hey, Ambrose, thank you for coming through, Ambrose. I appreciate you.
hey,
Y'all
Selena,
put,
can I say one thing?
yes, go ahead.
All I want to say is that sometimes life is not as beautiful as the picture been painted, but life is what it is, and you just have to accept it. And
Right.
and 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 if it's bad, let it be bad. If it's good, it's good. But all I'm saying is just accept people for who they are, and they all
Yes,
they trying to
indeed.
do is just be the realness that they've been in. So,
No, that's right.
but I,
Yep.
I, I appreciate you, Selena, for
All right.
letting
Well,
me
thank
come
you for
up to
coming
come up.
up.
You have a good night, sister.
You too. Thank you. I appreciate your perspective.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss E, what's good? What's your last words?
I know this was a lot, but
Yeah.
I echo what everybody was saying. So it was a great live. I came up because of the title that you
Hmm.
put into the, on on your topic. But it
Right.
was really a great live. It really should be extended. May have to have this conversation again, a part two.
Okay. I will definitely do a part two on this because, like I said, I was just thinking about it. I don't know. I was at my desk and I was like, I don't know why that subject came up in my mind. I was like, you know what? I want to talk about this, see what people think, because like I said, I want to have honest conversations, because it's such a touchy subject.
Right.
People get upset about stuff like this, but why? Just if you don't agree with something, you just don't agree with it. We can agree to disagree.
Right, right. And there's layers to it. I mean, everybody has a story, and I wouldn't say that, what was said by Lou was wrong or any by any means. Everybody got, stories that they passed or they family history. So I
Right.
definitely, I appreciate all the conversations, Genesis, Lou, Angelo, the Word, Miss Akimi, my brother, all of everybody who came up to the panel. It's just a
Hmm.
good topic all around. So thank you for having me up. And
Thank
hopefully we
you.
can do this again.
All right. I appreciate you so much, Miss E. You're always welcome.
Thank
Always
you.
welcome. So yeah, shout out to everybody that hit my panel and gave me some really great advice. Not just advice, but just really a lot of things that needed to be said. And I like it when I can be real and say certain things, and people don't put me on the cross for it. And shout out to Beautiful One. Thank you so much, Beautiful One. You blessed me once again. And put your, I don't know if Ahmad is still here. Genesis, if you could put your link in the chat, as well as Miss Beautiful One and whoever else that has a platform, please do. But I definitely appreciate everybody that gave me their perspective on it, because I want to know. I want to know, why is some black women the last ones? So I want to do a part 2 on this. Now tomorrow is my wine session, so it's going to be random topics. It's going to be open panel again. We can talk about this or anything else. Like I said, it's going to be random topics. So hopefully you guys will be able to come back. If other people it's not a whole bunch of big people live at the same time, but you are more than welcome to come back and sit with me and have some conversation where we can talk about pretty much anything. So yeah, shout out to everybody. And thank you so much for giving me your perspective and your time. I'm about to go in here, work on these glutes, do some cardio, and once I get that going, I'm gonna get something to eat. Probably get me a smoothie or something, and get ready for the next day, y'all. So love y'all to Reese's Pieces. Appreciate everything you guys do, whether it's pressing the like button, subbing up, and I always push the notification button so you'll know when the next time I'm going live. But tomorrow, God willing, at 7, I think it's 7 p.m. I think the title is Sipping with Selena. So I'm gonna have my wine. I love my red wine, y'all. So I hope you guys come back. Okay, thank you for coming from Nigeria. I appreciate it. I hope you come back. Thank you for coming through. I can't pronounce your name. It's a little bit too many letters, but shout out to you from Nigeria. So thank you so much. It's hard to find a good lady. It's hard to find a good man. So yeah, it's hard to find good ladies, and it's hard to find a good men. So we both in a struggle together. Thank you. I have some relatives in Hawaii. Hola to you. Hola to you, Cooley. Thank you for coming through. You said some reason Asian women chose other than their own people the same reason. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Blue Exodus. Thank you for joining me, and I'm doing well, and I hope you are doing well in Nigeria as well. Okay, so shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go and work on these glutes and that cardio. I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, bye. Selena.
It's a vibe, baby. Oak Cliff girl, can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them heels on and prove my
Welcome to
worth.
Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we want right now. And I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You gon' be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other. With the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.